while I got the time, I want to start this Senate hearing, and I want y'all to hear it. This happened this year, 2023. Like I said, y'all heard the committee. The committee. It's a big difference between the committee, the Senate, and all that. It's a big difference. Now, this is a Senate meeting that occurred, and I'm gonna give y'all the date as soon as I get back to the video. Let me see. Stop my camera. I'm not inviting nobody. Hold on. Make sure. Plus, the link, if anybody wants to hop on, is already pinned. All right, so this is the Senate hearing, and they're talking about would artificial intelligent robots benefit mankind? And they're trying to approve these. These are trials. After watching a couple of these, I put two and two together. These are not meetings. These are trials. They're actually in court. I'm not stupid, but allegedly, Shorty, don't mess up. You're doing good on this channel. Don't get a strike down again. So we're going to take the time and listen to what they got to say. And what really made me put two and two together was how on the last meeting, they kept saying trial, testify, witness. So I'm like, yo, these are not meetings. Y'all make it seem like meetings, but they're trials. Y'all just try to play us as the audience. You got to really listen to them.
A Senate Judiciary Subcommittee hears testimony on artificial intelligence being subjected to government regulation and oversight. During the hearing, lawmakers questioned technology experts about AI's potential role in national security, election manipulation, and labor exploitation.
Just for safety, I have no rights reserved to this video under copyright law section 107. I am only doing a commentary. This is a reaction. And I am titled, everything that I say or do not reflect the members of the Writers for Life podcast in any way. Everything that I say is my opinion and is allegedly. So let's talk about it, guys.
And Technology Subcommittee will come to order. Thank you to our three witnesses for being here. I know you've come a long distance, and to the ranking member, Senator Hawley, for being here as well on a day when many of us are flying back. I got off a plane about, I think, less than an hour ago, so forgive me for being a little bit late. I know many of you have flown in as well, and thank you to all of our audience, and many are outside the hearing room. Some of you may recall at the last hearing, I began with a voice, not my voice, although it sounded exactly like mine because it was taken from floor speeches, and an introduction, not my words, but concocted by ChatGPT, that actually mesmerized and deeply frightened a lot of people who saw and heard it. The opening today, my opening at least, is not going to be as dramatic. But the fears that I heard as I went back to Connecticut and also heard from people around the country were supported by that kind of voice impersonation and content creation. And what I have heard.
Blessings to Meal Ticket. Blessings. Damn, y'all. Meal Ticket, if you can, leave your link right there. Yo, I urge y'all to go check out the Meal Ticket, guys. My bad. I didn't mean to pause it like that, but listen, I just love the Meal Tickets channel. Go check him out.
Again and again and again. And the word that has been used so repeatedly is scary. Scary when it comes to artificial intelligence. And as much as I may tell people, you know, there's enormous good here, potential for benefits in curing diseases, helping to solve climate change, workplace efficiency. What rivets their attention is the science fiction image of an intelligence device out of control, autonomous, self-replicating, potentially creating diseases, pandemic grade viruses, or other kinds of evils purposely engineered by people, or simply the result of mistakes, not malign intention. And frankly, the nightmares are reinforced in a way by the testimony that I've read from each of you. In no way, disparagingly, do I say that those fears are reinforced, because I think you have provided objective, fact-based views on what the dangers are and the risks, and potentially even human extinction, an existential threat, which has been mentioned by many more than just the three of you, experts who know. Know firsthand the potential for harm. But these fears need to be addressed, and I think can be addressed through many of the suggestions that you are making to us and others as well. I've come to the conclusion that we...
Damn, I didn't notice that my mic was muted. My bad, my bad. All right, y'all. For anybody that catches the replay, anybody in the chat, or anybody that does, that's coming into the room, into the panel just now, like, listen, do y'all believe that robots will be the end of mankind? Do y'all believe that mankind will be extinct because of robots? Do y'all believe that robots would take over everybody's jobs now that they're coming in? Like, should we fear them? Hold on one second. Let's let him talk.
Need some kind of regulatory agency, but not just a reactive body, not just a passive rules of the road maker, edicts on what guardrails should be, but actually investing proactively in research so that we develop countermeasures against the kind of autonomous, out of control scenarios that are potential dangers. An artificial intelligence device that is in effect programmed to resist any turning off. A decision by AI to begin nuclear reaction to a non-existent attack. The White House certainly has recognized the urgency with a historic meeting of the 7 major companies, which made 8 profoundly significant commitments. And I commend and thank the President of the United States for recognizing the need to act. But we all know, and you have pointed out in your testimony, that
Yeah, it kind of does. It's kind of reminding like the iRobot, like, and it's crazy because these trials right here is them trying to make it legit, them trying to make it legal, them trying to make it like, all right, it's cool, trying to get everybody like, yo, we need this. But I asked on live part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. I mean part 4. This is part 5 of the lives. Do y'all believe that robots will benefit mankind? Me, in my opinion, I feel as though they will benefit, like when it comes to music, movies, the medical field and stuff like that. But when it comes to, having a robot in your home or trying to have a robot as a sex partner, like they already got the sex robots out here. I've been saying that shit. For those that be like, oh, it's coming. No, it's not coming. It's here. It's here. It's not coming. Don't keep sitting down waiting. It's here. It's time for everybody to get up and get our shit together. So here's the biggest question. Somebody asked this on the comedian meeting on part 2. That I was watching that. I was reacting to it on part 2. Like, should we get up and do something about this? Or should we wait for the government to do something? Or do we wait and see what happens? Because it's up to us. In reality, we got only those 3 options. And everybody knows what my opinion is. Facts. It will benefit to a certain extent. And I've been saying that. Like, what they want to do with these robots is way beyond than what the people think. See, certain people think they want to do certain things with these, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because I've learned from the last time. I'm not trying to get straight. So, like, we could all put 2 and 2 together. Y'all watch Terminator, y'all watch Matrix. And if y'all watch Terminator 1, I think she said, no, the Matrix one, it kind of explains it because it's really like they were on point with it with her book. Like, we've been warned about all this. Crazy part is, how many of us can handle it? How many of us can deal with it? It's here. Is y'all ready for it?
These commitments are unspecific and uninformed.
Oh, and my bad. Before I keep letting him talk, like I asked on part 2, part 3, and part 4, how would y'all feel if y'all was prosecuted by a judge that's a robot? Sentenced by 12 juror robots and defended by a robot by a lawyer that is a robot. What would y'all, how would y'all feel? Would y'all like it? How would y'all react? What would be your first thought if y'all was to wake up tomorrow and that's how the world was? Like, real shit.
Forcible. A number of them on the most serious issues say that they will give attention to the problem. All good, but it's only a start. And I know the doubters about Congress and about our ability to act. But the urgency here demands action. The future is not science fiction or fantasy. It's not even the future. It's here and now. And a number of you have put the timeline at 2 years before we see some of the biological most severe dangers. It may be shorter because the kinds of pace of development is not only stunningly fast, it is also accelerated at a stunning pace because of the quantity of chips, the speed of chips, the effectiveness of algorithms. It is an inexorable flow of development. We can condemn it, we can regret it, but it is real. And the White House's principles actually align with a lot of what we have said among us in Congress and notably in the last hearing that we held. We're here now because AI is already having a significant impact on our economy, safety, and democracy. The dangers are not just extinction, but loss of jobs.
And we spoke about that on part 4. Like, what's going to happen when y'all wake up tomorrow and all y'all jobs are replaced? Should we be concerned about having these robots? Should we not be concerned? Should we stand up and do something, or should we let this play out?
Potentially the worst nightmares that we have. Each day, these issues are more common, more serious, and more difficult to solve. And we can't repeat the mistakes that we made on social media, which was to delay and disregard the dangers. So the goal for this hearing is to lay the ground for legislation, to go from general principles to specific recommendations, to use this hearing to write real laws, enforceable laws.
Then I tell y'all, see, I'm reacting to this video the same way that I was with the other one. And I haven't watched this video. I watched the other one before I showed it to y'all. This one I didn't really watch at all. Like, I'm really watching this with y'all. Like, I saw a clip on it. This is how I found this video, because there was a clip on TikTok. So it drew my attention on the little portion that they had. So here we are watching this video today, and I knew it. This is a trial. They're trying to pass. Trying to make it all legal. It's not legal yet to have these robots, all these, these clones and all that out here in these streets. They're trying to make it so that, they could be out here, that we could have it. Like, but the question is why? For what? What is y'all agenda? And I'm not saying his, because it looks like he's against it. But if y'all watch part 2, y'all will see the guy, part 2 and part 3, y'all will see the people that are with it. Even on part half of part 3 has it too. Of the committee meeting. It's crazy how many people are with this, and they're all up there with money. So don't be surprised if in 2025 y'all wake up and there's a distraction. The next day after that distraction, oh shit, we're being taken over like an iRobot.
In our past 2 hearings, we heard from panelists that Section 230, the legal shield that protects social media, should not apply to AI. Based on that feedback, Senator Hawley and I introduced the No Section 230 Immunity for AI Act. Building on our previous hearing, I think there are core standards that we are building bipartisan consensus around. And I welcome hearing from many others on these potential rules, establishing a licensing regime for companies that are engaged in high-risk AI development, a testing and auditing regimen by objective third parties, or by, preferably, the new entity that we will establish, imposing legal limits on certain uses related to elections.
Blessings, perpetuals. Damn. Blessings. I didn't say damn because of you, perpetual, because of what he just said. Blessings, Big says, how you doing? My bad. Like, damn, like this guy, yo, you see what's crazy? I've been talking about this for a minute. Yo, them distractions we've been seeing, are y'all waking up? We've been seeing, like, a lot of people been saying, yo, these distractions is deeper than what they're telling us. It's deeper. The subs, the missing kids, all this stuff that's going on. And I'm not saying the missing kids are a distraction. I'm saying that certain cases are not real cases. And while the real kids are going missing, they're ignoring that. So it's so many distractions around us that, boom, what is it? Unless you're watching these type of meetings, people get bored watching this. And I know they do. But at the end of the day, listen, this boredom gives you that knowledge that you need to know how to hold yourself.
Senator Klobuchar has raised this danger directly related to nuclear warfare. China apparently agrees that AI should not govern the use of nuclear warfare, requiring transparency about the limits and use of AI models. This includes watermarking, labeling, disclosure when AI is being used, and data access for researchers. So I appreciate the commitments that have been made by Anthropic, OpenAI, and others at the White House related to security testing and transparency last week. It shows these goals are achievable and that they will not stifle innovation, which has to be an objective, avoid stifling innovation. And we need to be creative about the kind of agency or entity, the body or administration. It can be called administration. And
facts, you can't stay distracted. They use a lot of celebrities for these distractions too. So we need to really wake up. And I give my roses out to Ice Cube, because out of a lot of celebrities, artists, musicians, I can't say that word right, lyricists, and much more, Ice Cube is not scared to speak the truth. Yo, so I give it to him. Yo, he hasn't been bought. Out of all these other celebrities and much more, I gotta give it to Ice Cube. That's why y'all hear me speak a lot on him. And my prayers go his way too. Real shit. I pray for everybody that exposes the truth. And listen, because it's so many people that bring them down for doing this, and I don't want to hear that shit. That's irrelevant. I ain't got nothing to do with me. But in reality, it has everything to do with us. So instead of shutting them people that are bringing us the truth and are exposing it and listening to the distractions, we need to get our shit together because it's us in the urban community.
In office, I think the language is less important than its real enforcement power and the resources invested in it. We are really lucky, very, very fortunate to be joined by three true experts today. One of the most distinguished panels I have seen in my time in the United States Congress, which is only about 12 years. One of the leading AI companies, which was founded with the goal of developing AI that is helpful, honest, and harmless. A researcher whose groundbreaking work led him to be recognized as one of the godfathers of AI, and a computer science professor whose publications and testimony on the ethics of AI have shaped regulatory efforts like the EU AI Act. So welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for being here. I turn to the ranking member, Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to all of our witnesses for being here. I want to start by thanking the Chairman, Senator Blumenthal, for his terrific work on these hearings. It's been a privilege.
And a Shorty would love to welcome everybody to the Matrix.
To get to work with him. These have been incredibly substantive hearings. I'm really looking forward to hearing from each of you today. I want to thank his staff for their terrific work. It takes a lot of effort to put together hearings of these substance. And I want to thank Senator Blumenthal for being willing to do something about this problem. As he alluded to a moment ago, he and I, a few weeks ago, introduced the first bipartisan bill to put safeguards around AI development. The first bill to be introduced in the United States Senate, which will protect the right of Americans.
A few weeks ago, when was this? When was this hearing? Hey, show me the date. Usually y'all have the dates on these things. So as y'all can see, there's been distractions around us. Where's the date? Because this meeting was around the same time. I don't want to hit back to start the video over. So I'm going to have to get the date in a minute. I'm going to get the date when I hit back. But it's 2023. This meeting was maybe a month or two ago, probably 3, 4, 5. Listen, we'll find out in a minute.
To vindicate their privacy, their personal safety, and their interests in court against any company that would develop or deploy AI. This is an absolutely critical foundational right. You can give Americans paper rights, parchment rights, as our founder said, all you want. If they can't get into court to enforce them, they don't mean anything. And so I think it's significant that our first bipartisan effort is to guarantee that every American will have the right to vindicate their rights, their interests, their privacy, their data protection, their kids' safety in court. And I look forward to more to come with Senator Blumenthal and with other members who I know are interested in this. I think that for my part, I have expressed my own sense of what our priorities ought to be when it comes to legislation. It's very simple: workers, kids, consumers, and national security. As AI develops, we've got to make sure that we have safeguards in place that will ensure this new technology is actually good for the American people. I'm confident.
Y'all see all the safeguards they got to put into place, though? But like the mill ticket said earlier in the chat, what happens when they go rogue?
It'll be good for the companies. I have no doubt about that. The biggest companies in the world who currently make money hand over fist in this country and benefit from our laws, I know they'll be great. Google, Microsoft, Meta, many of whom have invested in the companies we're going to talk to today, and we'll get into that a little bit more in just a minute. But I'm confident they're going to do great. What I'm less confident of is that the American people are going to do all right. So I'm less interested in the corporation's profitability. In fact,
See what I said? Is how about us? What's going to happen to the 9 to 5s? What's going to happen? That's the biggest question.
Not interested in that at all. I'm interested in protecting the rights of American workers and American families and American consumers against these massive companies that threaten to become a total law unto themselves. Imagine, you want to talk about a dystopia? Imagine a world in which AI is controlled by one or two or three corporations that are basically governments unto themselves, and then the United States government and foreign entities. Talk about a massive accretion of power from the people to the powerful. That is the true nightmare. And for my money, that is what this body has got to prevent. We want to see technology developed in a way that actually benefits the people, the workers, the kids, and the families of this country. And I think the real question before Congress is, will Congress actually do anything? Senator Blumenthal, I think, put his finger on it precisely. I mean, look at...
Like I told y'all, difference between the committees, the senators, and Congress. This is a Senate. These are all senators. The meeting, the trial that we saw on part 2 and part 3, those were committee members. These are senators.
What this Congress did or did not do with regard to these very same companies, these same behemoth companies when it came to social media. It's all the same players, let's be honest. We're talking about the same people in AI as we were in social media. It's Google, again, it's Microsoft, it's Meta, it's all the same people. And what I notice is in my short time in the Senate, there's a lot of talk about doing something about big tech and absolutely zero movement to actually put meaningful legislation on the floor of the United States Senate and do something about it. So I think the real question is, will the Senate actually act? Will the leadership in both parties, will it actually be willing to act? We've had a lot of talk, but now is the time for action. And I think if the urgency of the new generative AI technology does not make that clear to folks, then you'll never be convinced. And to me, that really defines the urgent needs of this moment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to turn to Senator Klobuchar in case she has some remarks. So,
Thank you. A woman of action, I hope, Senator Hawley.
definitely a woman of action and someone who has invested a lot of time.
Yes. Well, I just want to thank both of you for doing this. I mostly just want to hear from the witnesses. I do agree with both Senator Blumenthal and Senator Hawley. This is the moment. And the fact that this has been bipartisan so far in the work that Senator Schumer, Senator Young are doing, the work that is going on in this subcommittee with the two of you, and the work Senator Hawley and I are also engaged in on some of the other issues related to this. I actually think that if we don't act soon, we could decay into not just partisanship, but in inaction. And the point that Senator Hawley just made is right. We didn't get ahead of the Congress didn't get ahead of with Section 230 and the like, and some of the things that were done for maybe good reasons at the time, and then didn't do anything. And now you've got kids getting addicted to fentanyl, and you've got off that they get online. You've got privacy issues. You've got kids being exposed to content they shouldn't see. You've got small businesses that have been put.
Now y'all see how everything goes hand in hand. It's crazy, right? But this right here has been proven, everything that I've been saying. And for those of y'all that be like, yo, Shorty, you was crazy. Hey, it's right there. I want to thank everybody that's showing support to a Shorty that, listen, that's been here, that's rocking out. Because y'all don't got to be here, but y'all rocking out with a Shorty. And we're just here, like I said, we're here to bring the news and to bring awareness. Y'all more than welcome. Like, listen, let's keep talking about it. So I'm going to let this play for a little, I would say like another 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna end the live, and I'll see y'all on part 6. I might do it tonight. I might do it tomorrow. So let's see how this works out.
Push down search engines and the like. And I still think we can fix some of that. But this is certainly a moment to engage. And I'm actually really excited about what we can get done, the potential for good here, but what we can do to put in guardrails and have an American way of putting things in place and not just defer to the rest of the world, which is what's starting to happen on some of the other topics I raised. So I'm particularly interested.
While I'm here, I want to take a minute. I want to give a shout out to the Melt Ticket. I want to give a shout out to the Word. I want to give a shout out to Nate the Great Podcast. Shout out to everybody else that brings awareness when it comes to the kids and much more. Listen, don't stop. Keep doing what y'all doing. Like, I want to give a shout out to everybody out here, every blogger, every YouTuber, anybody that sits here and exposes the truth and doesn't give up. That is here because they just want to bring awareness. Like, we got to give these people their roses now while they're alive, because once they're gone, how can we let them know that we really appreciate them and we're grateful for everything that they're done? Shout out to all the women out here that, bringing awareness, that are not falling for the bullshit and much more. Like, we have to give them roses while they're still alive, because there's a lot of men out here, whether you believe it or not, that do care about the kids and are bringing awareness. Messed up part, we're in an era where you would think that you would have a lot more women, but right now the women are so divided and beefing with each other that I really don't understand what the hell is going on. The pandemic knocked these bitches on their head.
Which is not as much our focus today on the election side and democracy, and making sure that we do not have these ads that aren't the real people. I don't care what political party people are with, that we give voters the information they need to make a decision, and that we are able to protect our democracy. And there's some good work being done on that front. So thank you.
Let me introduce the witnesses and seize this moment to let you have the floor. We're going to be joined by Dario Amodei, who is the CEO of Anthropic, an AI safety and research company. It's a public benefit corporation dedicated to building steerable AI systems that people can rely on and generating research about the opportunities and risks of AI. Anthropic's AI assistant, Claude, is based on its research into training helpful, honest, and harmless AI systems. Joshua Bengio is a worldwide recognized.
Okay, so I thought